Imagine standing across from the woman you want, hearing polite words that tell you to back off, and watching her body keep inching closer anyway. That split second between what she says and what she does is where every lost chance lives. Most men stay frozen in the sentence, waiting for permission that will never come. Most men lose the moment because they don't see the truth the body is whispering. What if you could learn to read that whisper like a headline? What if you could tell in 5 seconds whether she's curious, testing you, or quietly giving you permission to move forward? And what would it be worth to stop replaying, "I should have said something," every night? This isn't guesswork or pickup lines. It's pattern recognition, and it's trainable. In this video I'm going to hand you one sharp tool and one unbreakable rule that will change every interaction: the 5-second scan that exposes intention, and the rule of 3 greens that tells you when to lead. No more paralysis, no more awkward timing. You'll know when to lean in and when to slow down. You'll know the difference between an accidental touch and an invitation. You'll learn to read feet, torso, hands, and eyes the way a detective reads clues, with calm, certainty and zero need for obvious permission. Stay if you want to stop losing women because you're waiting for words. Stay if you're done being the guy who only understands attraction in hindsight. By the end of this short breakdown you'll be able to spot patterns other men miss, act without panic, and start creating moments instead of begging for them. I'll show you the exact sequence to watch in the first 10 seconds of any encounter, the single posture tweak that raises your perceived value instantly, and the safe micro-escalation that gets a yes without forcing anything. Don't let words trick you again. Watch closely, because the body says yes long before the mouth does, and when you learn to see it, nothing stays missed. The modern man is trapped in a prison of words. He has been taught to listen, to be polite, to wait for a clear, verbal yes that, in the world of female attraction, almost never arrives in the way he expects. You lose women not because of your looks, your bank account, or your job. You lose them in the silent, agonizing gap between her polite no and her body's screaming yes. You lose her because you were trained to decode her sentences while a man who understands her signals is decoding her soul. She feels this disconnect. She feels your hesitation when she gives you an open signal. She feels your blindness when you look at her but fail to truly see her. This creates a vacuum of leadership, a space where she feels she has to guide you, and in that moment, the polarity that fuels attraction dies. The deepest fear isn't rejection, it's the crippling anxiety of misinterpretation. The fear that her smile was just politeness. The fear that leaning in makes you a creep. The fear that stepping back makes you a coward. So you remain frozen, a statue in a museum of missed opportunities, only realizing she was interested when you see her walking away with a man who understood the language you ignored. Her every gesture becomes a riddle, her every look a maze. You're constantly lagging behind your own life, perpetually stuck in hindsight. The key to unlocking this world lies in understanding a fundamental truth about human psychology. Our brains have 2 distinct parts operating at all times: the logical, modern brain that forms sentences and follows social rules, the neocortex. And the ancient, instinctual brain that governs emotion, survival, and attraction, the limbic system. When a woman speaks to you, she is often filtering her thoughts through the logical brain, the part concerned with safety, social judgment, and not appearing too forward. But her body is a direct line to the limbic brain. It cannot lie. It broadcasts her true emotional state without negotiation, without softening the message. Her body delivers the raw data of her intention, her curiosity, her desire. While her mouth is busy crafting a socially acceptable narrative, her posture, her gaze, and the direction of her feet are telling you the unedited truth. This is why a woman will rarely tell you directly what she feels in the initial stages. The feminine psyche is wired for plausible deniability, a survival mechanism honed over millennia to test a man's attunement and social intelligence. She needs to know you can lead, and the first test is always this: can you perceive the truth beneath the surface? Reading her body isn't manipulation, it is the highest form of masculine attunement. It's the key that unlocks her unspoken reality, allowing you to navigate the interaction with a calm certainty that she finds deeply, irresistibly attractive. When you master this language, you are no longer guessing, you are seeing. You know when to advance without pressure, when to pull back to build tension, and when the interaction is closed before you invest any more energy. You're not playing a game, you're finally understanding the game that has been playing you. Albert Mehrabian's famous communication model isn't just a corporate training slide, it's a law of nature in seduction. The overwhelming majority of emotional communication is nonverbal. When you hang on her every word, you are operating on less than 10% of the available data. While you are stuck analyzing a sentence, another man is observing the angle of her torso, the tension in her hands, and the dilation of her pupils, and he is the one who will act on that truth. Today, we change that. We are going to install a new operating system for your social perception, one built on observable patterns, not hopeful guesses. You will learn to decode the female body with the precision of a cryptographer, to act when her body is screaming yes, even if her mouth is still forming the word maybe. This isn't a luxury, it's fundamental to your success. From this moment on, you will never walk blind again. The most common mistake, the one that keeps you perpetually in the friend zone, is this: you take her words as absolute truth and dismiss her actions as coincidence. The insecure man hears, "I have a boyfriend," and immediately retreats, ignoring the fact that she said it while leaning closer, playing with her hair, and maintaining intense eye contact. He hears, "I'm not really looking for anything right now," but fails to see her feet are pointed directly at him, a subconscious signal of engagement. He accepts the verbal smoke screen and misses the fire raging behind it. You must burn this into your mind. In every interaction, her body is either confirming or contradicting her words. Your only job is to see which it is. A woman's entire emotional state is an open book, but it's written in the language of gesture, not grammar. The tilt of her head, the distance she maintains, the way she holds her glass, these are not random ticks. These are sentences. A polite smile is a social mask, the direction of her torso is her true intention. A nervous laugh can mean anything, her restless hands touching her neck or hair confess a very specific story of arousal and self-consciousness. Her gaze tells you everything her courage won't allow her to say. Interest isn't a compliment, it's a physical lean. Desire isn't a yes, it's her body finding excuses to enter your personal space. These signals don't shout, they whisper, which is why most men, deafened by verbal noise, miss them entirely. To cut through this noise, you need a system. Not a theory, but a practical tool. We call it the 5-second scan. It is a mental X-ray you can run in the first moments of any interaction to get an instant, accurate reading of her intentions. It has 4 key checkpoints. Checkpoint 1, the feet. Before you even look at her face, look at her feet. They are the most honest part of the body because we are least conscious of them. If her feet are pointed directly at you, she is engaged. If they are pointed towards an exit, her mind is already leaving, no matter what her smiling face tells you. If she's talking to her friend but one foot is angled towards you, you have her subconscious attention. Direction is intention. Checkpoint 2, the torso. Where her navel points, her interest flows. Is her torso squared up to you, open and vulnerable? That's a massive signal of trust and engagement. Is it angled away, even slightly? She is shielding herself, keeping a barrier. Is she turning her shoulder to you but keeping her head forward? That is the classic sign of polite but disengaged conversation. Checkpoint 3, the hands. Hands reveal her level of comfort and anxiety. Are they relaxed, open, perhaps gesturing as she speaks? She is comfortable. Are they clenched, hidden in her pockets, or gripping her drink tightly? She's anxious or closed off. Is she touching her neck, her hair, or her lips? These are preening gestures, subconscious signals that she is aware of her appearance and, by extension, aware of your attention on her. Checkpoint 4, the face and eyes. Ignore the smile for a moment and look at its duration. A genuine smile, a Duchenne smile, engages the muscles around the eyes and fades slowly. A social, polite smile never reaches the eyes and vanishes instantly. Then, track her gaze. The social gaze moves in a small triangle between the eyes and the nose. The interest gaze, however, creates a larger triangle, dropping down from the eyes to the mouth, and sometimes even lower, before returning. This is a subconscious scan of your features, a signal of attraction she herself is likely unaware of. Practice this scan everywhere. In cafes, in bars, at work. Do not act. Just observe. Train your eyes to see the patterns. You are building a new muscle, sharpening a dormant instinct. When the opportunity you truly care about arrives, you will not have to think. You will simply see. Now, seeing the signals is one thing. Knowing how to act on them is another. This is where most men who get the first part right still fail. They see a signal, but they need to see 10 more before they feel confident enough to act, and by then, the window has closed. To solve this, you need the rule of 3 greens. This is your definitive, unbreakable protocol for knowing when to advance. Before you make any move, before you escalate physically, before you ask for her number, before you change the tone of the conversation to something more intimate, you need 3 clear, concurrent green lights from her body. One isolated signal is noise, it could be a coincidence. 2 is interesting. 3 is a pattern. And a pattern is permission. Green light 1, positive body orientation. This is your baseline. Her feet and torso are consistently oriented towards you. She is not creating distance. When you shift your position slightly, she subtly mirrors you, closing the gap. This establishes that you have her physical attention and comfort. If her body is angled away, you do not have the first green light, and you do not proceed. Green light 2, the returning gaze. This goes beyond simple eye contact. She meets your gaze, looks away, often downward, a sign of submission or shyness, and then, crucially, her eyes return to yours within a few seconds, often accompanied by a micro-smile she might try to suppress. This look away and return sequence is a primal, powerful invitation. It's a test. She's checking to see if you are still looking, if you are bold enough to hold her gaze. A man who breaks eye contact first communicates weakness. A man who holds it with a calm confidence communicates power. Green light 3, the accidental, touch or proximity test. This is the final and most important green light. She will find an excuse to break the physical barrier. It might be a light touch on your arm as she laughs at your joke. It might be her accidentally brushing against you as you both reach for something. Or it might be the absence of withdrawal, you both stand in a crowded space, and your shoulders touch, and she does not pull away. The insecure man dismisses this as coincidence. The attuned man understands it for what it is, a sensory test. She is testing your reaction and, more importantly, granting you permission to reciprocate later. The accidental touch is quick and is often followed by a slight recoil. A permissive touch lingers for a split second longer than necessary, or it happens more than once. If she does not pull away, she is permitting. If she repeats it, she is inviting. When, and only when, you have all 3 green lights simultaneously, positive orientation, the returning gaze, and the permissive touch, you have an undeniable mandate to act. You have the perfect moment where opportunity manifests. And the man who acts in that precise moment is never forgotten. What happens when you see her pull back? A small step away, her arms crossing, her torso turning slightly. The amateur sees this as rejection and either panics and retreats, killing the vibe, or worse, he ignores it and pushes forward, becoming the creep she will complain about to her friends. The professional understands this is not a no. It is a calibration check. The female psyche is not a simple on-off switch of interest. It oscillates. She might feel a sudden wave of self-consciousness, she might remember a past bad experience, she might simply feel the intensity is rising too fast for her comfort zone. Her retreat is an unconscious request, slow down. Show me you are not a brute. Show me you are attuned to my comfort. Your response here defines you. Do not apologize. Do not ask, is everything okay? That puts the pressure on her and kills the mood. Simply, silently, respond to the data. Take a small half-step back yourself. Change the topic to something lighter, more playful. Break the intense eye contact for a moment. You are matching her energy, showing her that you are in control of the interaction and that her comfort is your priority. When she feels safe again, when she feels that you are a man who can lead without force, her body will reopen the path, often with even stronger signals than before. This dance of advance and retreat, of tension and release, is the very essence of seduction. It is a gradient, not a leap. You use micro-escalations. You don't go from talking to grabbing her hand. You maintain eye contact for 1 second longer than usual. You use a light, non-threatening touch on a safe zone like her elbow and then you take it away. You observe her reaction. Does her body remain open? You can take another small step. Does she lean in closer in response? You can take a bigger one. Does she tense up? You stabilize and recalibrate. Her body will show you the exact pace she is comfortable with. The man who masters this rhythm never has to force anything. He simply follows the path she is already laying out for him. This is not about becoming a robotic emotion detector. It is about reclaiming a dormant part of your masculine intuition. It is about taking full responsibility for your social perception. Stop blaming women for being confusing. Stop blaming shyness. Stop blaming bad luck. The language of the female body is rich, deep, and shockingly obvious once you know the patterns to look for. Reading her body is abandoning the passive, pleading posture of the man who needs constant verbal validation and adopting the active, powerful posture of the man who interprets reality and leads. This skill eliminates the anxiety of guessing. It eliminates the paralysis of fear. It eliminates the regret of hindsight. You begin to act with a precision and a calm confidence that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because this level of attunement is precisely what women find most attractive. Seduction ceases to be a game of chance and becomes a skill of observation and leadership. You are no longer trying to imagine what she wants. You are seeing, in real time, what she truly feels, and for those of you who understand the power of what we've just discussed, for those who feel that this is the missing piece of the puzzle, there is a much deeper level to this. What we've covered today is the foundational knowledge. If you want to master this, to integrate it so deeply that it becomes an unconscious part of who you are, then I invite you to the next step. In my advanced program, The Code of Seduction, we go far beyond simple signals. We break down the complete system of feminine nonverbal language with surgical precision. You will learn the advanced maps of body language, the specific flirting styles tied to different personality types, and how to read signals in group dynamics. You will master techniques that are too potent for a free video, advanced posture adjustments that instantly change your perceived status, specific gaze patterns that create hypnotic tension, timing exercises that build unbearable sexual anticipation, and the full structure of conscious physical escalation that makes a woman feel completely safe and ravenously desired, guided by you, never pressured. This is not a collection of tips, it is a complete operating system for social and seductive mastery, built on real psychology, behavioral science, and modern social dynamics. It is the mechanism that transforms your ability to read signals into the power to create attraction on command. If you are ready to leave the world of amateur guesswork and become one of the few men who can create desire, connection, and impact with absolute certainty, then click the link in the description and the pinned comment to learn more about the Code of Seduction. From this point forward, you no longer walk in the dark. You read. You understand. You lead.